Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's start. I think almost everyone is there. If you want to please join. So we have seen what is definition of the preliminaries. We have seen what is the derivative and what is partial derivative. Okay, and then we have seen from Thomas calculus definition also what is the definition. So in the same definition, just given some different kind of representation, okay, and we have seen some kind of pictorial representation also, and then we have seen that history of PD. Now, so this one we have seen. So suppose f of x equal to 4x square, then f dash of x equal to 8x. Then what will happen if f of x, if we go back to the original equation, what will happen? Will it be unique? If not, we will get some constant. Okay, so c1, c2, c3. Here we have seen some constants. Similarly, if we revisit the PD example, the same way. Okay, so we learned at the E concept. So I have shown like u equal to e power x minus y implies that ux plus uy equal to 0 you get. But if you go back, means from u, if I give back ux plus uy equal to 0, will I get u equal to e power x minus y? It is not necessary. Okay, so that we have seen, and we have seen that u is equal to f of x minus y is also a solution. That we have seen. Okay. So that we will prove it also in the method of characteristic, etc. Okay. Now this also we have seen definition of ODE. So in the definition of ODE, so means it contains only the one independent variable. So contain only one independent variable, so that all the derivatives occurring in it are ordinary derivatives. Okay. So the general definition, the mathematical way of defining is as follows. So take omega subset of R, m belongs to n. Then f is a mapping from omega cross Rn to R. Okay, that function we are defining like this: f of x comma y of x comma dy by dx d square by etc. This is us. And similarly, if you go for the system of ODE, just take y as a y1, y2, yp. Okay, belongs to R power p, and then each y1 is depending on the variable y x. Okay, depending on x, then you can get that similar way. Okay, this also we can see. So there is this we have seen already remarks on ODE, and ODE examples also we have some survivability index. Now the question is, how do you solve the ordinary differential equation? So in ordinary differential equation, okay, so we will start with simple one. If you go for the very basic level, we will start with the simple one: dy by dx equal to r of x. Okay, so if r of x is continuous, then what we try to do is we try to find the solution problem. So for that, the fundamental idea is that fundamental theorem of convergence. So if f is a continuous function, okay, then we can define f of x equal to integral a to x f of t dt. Then it is continuous. This you might have seen in your analysis course. Okay, it is continuous on AB, and f of x is capital F of x is differentiable on AB, and its derivative is f of x. This is the fundamental theorem of calculus, and it says that f dash of x equal to integral t by dx a to x f of t dt equal to f of x. So this is the underlying concept of almost all the differential equations as well as for the partial differential equation. Okay, so what we try to do is, see, dy by dx equal to r of x is there. Okay, that is my given ordinary differential equation. Now, if I just know this fundamental theorem of calculus, from this one what I can do is I can just integrate on both sides. Okay, if I integrate on both sides, what will happen? The left hand side I can just make like dy. Okay, on the right hand side I can make it like r of x into dx. So I can just put dx on both sides. Okay, integrate with respect to dx. Then what will happen to this side? This will become like d of y, and right side will become like r of x into dx. Now, if r of x is continuous, you can apply this theorem, fundamental theorem of calculus. You can apply, and then you can find that what is your y. Okay, that is the basic idea, the fundamental idea behind the ordinary differential equation. Almost the same concept we are going to extend to the partial differential equations also. Okay, so this also you might have seen in your ordinary differential equation course, Peano's existence theorem. Okay, so what does it say? It says that you take an initial value problem, y dash equal to f of x comma y of x not equal to y naught. Okay, then what we say, f of x comma y is continuous for all points in x comma y in some rectangle. Means it should be continuous with respect to x also, it should be continuous with respect to y also. Okay, f of x is continuous for all points x y in the rectangle let's say r, okay, r is nothing but x minus x naught less than or equal to less than a, y minus y naught less than, okay, in that bounded rectangle I'm thinking. Then what we are trying to do is, it is mentioned it is bounded, okay, so it is bounded, but that means you can find a number k such that f of x comma y less than or equal to k for all x comma y in that rectangle, okay, in that rectangle. So this you might have seen in your ordinary differential equations course, Peano's existence theorem, okay. So then it says that it guarantees that there exists a solution, at least the solution exists for all x in the subinterval, okay, at least one solution will be existing for this problem IDP, okay, initial value problem. For that at least one solution will be existing, and where it will exist, there is a subinterval. So you have a bigger rectangle, it is not going to exist in the whole rectangle, but it will be existing in the subinterval x minus x naught less than alpha, okay, in that interval it will be existing. So that is the Peano's existence theorem. Now Picard's theorem, what does Picard's theorem says is that you impose some more condition. Either you put the partial derivative is continuous, the partial derivative is continuous, or you go for the Lipschitz condition. Okay, if you have Lipschitz condition also, you can say that, okay, either you take partial derivative or take the Lipschitz condition. Okay, Lipschitz condition is a little bit weaker condition, whereas partial derivative is little bit stronger condition. Okay, Lipschitz condition we are taking with respect to y. Okay. In that case, what you will get? You will get a utmost solution. Means you get a unique solution. This is the uniqueness theorem. So, what are the techniques you have learned in your ODE solving? So, mostly these keywords you might have seen. So, something like separable ODE. Okay, separable ODE means like you just if I have dy by dx equal to some equation, I can just the right hand side f of x y will be there. So I can just separate them into two x component separately and y component separately. Means in multiplication. Okay, some x of x into y of y, you can split that, and then what you can do is you can just bring that into the product of x product of x into product of y will be there. So that you can bring it in the y, you can bring it down, and x you can bring it over there, or you can just make it like dy by some y of y and into x of x into dx you can get, and then you can solve. Similarly, you have some exact ODE, so there you have seen some of the solutions also. And these are some of the keywords you might have known the ODE course, like Bernoulli equation, Euler-Cauchy equation, Euler-Lagrange equation, or Legendre equation, Bessel's equation, and then superposition principles. So what is superposition principle? Like if you have U1, U2 as a solution, then C1, U1 plus C2, U2 will also be a solution. For example, if you have the linear motion, okay. So these are some of the things you may have seen. And also Wronskian. So using that, you used to see like if it is you find solution at one point, then you can find the solution for all the points. Okay. Then you might have seen ODE with constant coefficients and variable coefficients also. And you have seen variation of parameters, Green's function, and conformability. So these are some technical words, so I'm just skipping it, okay, quickly past. Okay, now we'll come to partial differential equation. So what will happen to the partial differential equation? In ordinary differential equation, you have a single variable. In case of partial differential equation, how many variables you will have? At least two variables, okay? At least two variables you will have, two or more variables you will have, and a finite number of partial derivatives will be there. Okay, so this is the just one line definition of partial differential equation. We'll see the mathematical definitions. Okay, so partial differential equation is nothing but a differential equation involving an unknown function. Okay, it can be a vector related function also. It's about unknown function of two or more variables. At least two variables would be there. Okay, two or more variables and a finite number of partial derivatives would be there. Then we say that is a partial differential equation. Okay. So before that, we'll see some of the preliminaries. Okay. So for example, let me take the independent variables. Okay. So let us take capital X. Okay. The whole letter X is nothing but set of all some independent variables. Okay. Like a tuple, kind of a tuple. Okay. N tuples I am taking, which is x1, x2, etc., xn, which belongs to omega. Omega is nothing but a subset of R power n. That n is at least 2 speed. Okay. So this I am taking as a independent. Then dependent variables. Okay, so you can take once again, like I'm just going to define like a system of PDE. So you can take like U1, U2, UP. Any number of variables you can take. Okay, let us denote the independent variable or unknown function. U is equal to u1, u2, up. Okay, you can take p such functions. Okay, p such dependent variables you can take, where each one is belonging to R, so it belongs to the bold letter U belongs to R power P. P should be at least greater than or equal to. Okay, at least one unknown function should be. Now what I am trying to do is I am just going to define something called alpha. This alpha is nothing but alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n. I'm just taking some combinations of non-negative integers. Okay, some combinations alpha equal to alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n. I'm just going to take. How I'm going to take? So if I just sum it up all these alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n, that sum should be equal to alpha. Okay, suppose I take 5, I can take many combinations. 5 can be written as 1 plus 1 plus 1, 5 times you can write, or 1 plus 2 plus 2 you can write, or 1 plus 3 plus 1 you can take. So like this you can take many combinations. So you take any such combinations, okay, or you can take like if you have like okay, so that's the same way which I mentioned. So you have many such combinations you can take. Okay, so that I am just taking it as some alpha. Okay, that is an index. Now what I can define is I can define d alpha u, which is nothing but dou alpha u divided by dou alpha 1 x1, dou alpha 2 x2, dou alpha n x. Means I have suppose I have something like dou power 5 u. I can define something like dou square x, dou cube y. I can define. Okay, similarly I can define dou power 5 u divided by dou x, dou y, dou z. You can define. Dou here 2, so 2 by 2 here. Okay, those corrects dou square dou is right. So like this you can define many such combinations. Okay, so depending on the number of variables, number of independent variables you are taking. Okay, so that I am just defining. Okay, now let's define the formal definition of means like in the mathematical way. Let us define. How do we define? So once again we take omega subset of r power n. Okay. And let m belongs to n. Okay, take any positive integer m. Then what I am going to define is I am going to define a function, okay, f, which is a mapping from omega cross r power p cross r power np cross r power n square p cross r power np to r power q. So what does it mean? So I am just taking, see here, I require, you see the function here, okay, you see the function, the system of partial differential equation. I am just defining f of capital X, okay, where x belongs to omega. Okay, x is belong to omega. Now what is u? Earlier I have defined u is in r power p. So u belongs to r power p. Now what will happen to the second one, du? How many such du you can define? How many such du you can define?
M.
N, because you have n independent variables are there. So I will have dx1, dx2, dx2, etc., dxn. So therefore it is belonging to r power np. Okay, if you go for d square u, what will happen? It will have d1 dx1 x1, dx1 x2, dx1 x3, etc. Like this you can define. So how many such variables, how many such functions will come? N square functions will come. Okay, so that's why it is r power n square. Similarly, you can just go for that. D power m will be belong to r power n power r power n power m power m into p. Okay, so that many functions will be. So this is nothing but the system of partial differential equation defined on the equation, and this is mapping to some r power q. Okay, it is not necessary that that should be also p or something. It can be any other value r power q. Or simply you can define. So there is a typo here. It should be dou power alpha. So I think I made a mistake in the typing. Okay, dou power alpha into u. Okay, dou power alpha into u. So that I am just defining here. Okay, that is nothing but, or simply I can just define. Okay, dou power alpha suffix alpha. So this is different notations in different ways. So here some mth order derivative of the function u appears in the system of equation. Okay, so this mth order should be appearing, so that it is going to be set as mth order partial differential. Any doubts on this one? Okay, let me go to the next one. So now I have defined the system of partial differential equation. Now if I go for the simple one, okay, only one variable, only one dependent variable, then what I can do is I can just define f is a real variable function. So I'm not bringing down the independent variables, I'm just bringing down only the dependent variable. So independent variables will be x1, x2, x1 as it is. Only the dependent variable I'm just making it as 1. So the p equal to 1, and I'm just mapping it to r. Okay, q also I'm just making r. Okay, q also I'm making this 1. Then I just define the same thing again. So f is equal to f is a mapping from omega cross r because p is 1. Okay, so r cross r power n cross r power n square etc. r power n. So that is going to r. So the same way what we have x, okay, x is capital X means x1, x2, xn will be there. Then u is again it is in r power n. So ux1, ux2, etc. uxn will be there. Then d square u. So again it will be having dx1, x1, dx1, x2, dx1, x3, etc. So like this it will go like this n square. Similarly for t. So once again here at least some mth order derivative of the function u appears. Okay. So PD in 2D and 3D we'll see. So PD in 2D and 3D. So this is a simple one. If you see the 2D one, you will have. So if I see the 1D case, I mean like first order PDE, second order PDE, etc. will come. So I'm just giving some examples. Okay. So here f of x comma 2D case I'm just defining with the second order one. Okay. If I have first order one, what I will have is I will have f of x comma y comma ux comma uy equal to this is going to be 2D case with first order. Okay, what I have shown here is in the first equation is 2D case second order. Okay, f of x comma y comma ux comma uy comma uxx uyy uxy uyx. If at least one of these second order derivative uxx uy uxy or ux, if some of these coefficients are non-zero, then it will become like a second order PDE. If all these coefficients become 0, okay, this uxx, uyy, uxy, uyx, all these coefficients become 0, then that becomes a first order. Similarly, you can go for the 3D case also. Okay, so in 3D case you have x comma y. Sorry, this is also again 2D case with multiple variables. Okay, x comma y comma ux comma uy. uxx uyy. So it can go like if I just stop at uyy, okay, up to that, then it will become like third order PDE. If I go up to like xxxx n variable n times, then it will become like n third. Then third one is 3-dimensional. Okay, and fourth one again you can say that the 3D one with the n third I can say. Okay, if z is repeated n times, then it is n third. Okay, so these are some of the exercise. You might have solved this in your ODE course. So y double dash plus y equal to 0, and some boundary conditions like from y of 0 equal to y of 2 equal to 0, etc. So these are some of the exercises I have given, and these are the functions which we will be repeatedly using in our PDE class also. Because what we will do is we'll try to bring the partial differential equation. Because what we know. If you see the theory of solving any problems, what we try to find is that something which we know, from that we try to find whether we can solve the unknown problem. Okay, some tool which we have. Okay, if I have some tool, then what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to use that tool, and then let me see whether I can solve the problem. If I could not solve the problem, then what I will do, I will go for the inventing some new tools. Okay, suppose I have some car or bike or some repair is there. What I will try to do is I will use some kind of things, tools which I have, and I will try to repair it. Okay, so same way here. Okay, in partial differential equation, if I have some tools, okay, so for example in the ordinary differential equation, what we have is we try to use that fundamental theorem of calculus. That is one tool. Using that, we try to find whether we can solve the problem. If it is not solvable, then we try to go for other theorems or other tools which we try to invent, and then we try to solve the problem. The same way here. So what we try to do is, see, I have a partial differential equation. What I will try to do is whether I can convert that partial differential equation to a one-time ordinary differential equation. Okay, somehow. Okay, with some assumptions, if I can just convert that to ordinary differential equation, and then I will try to find whether I can solve the problem. If I can solve the problem, then I will try to see whether I can solve the corresponding partial differential equation. So this is the fundamental idea of this course. Okay, so we will see that. So we'll go to the next one. Okay, that one I was supposed to cover in the last class, but the time was not sufficient, so we just covered today. So this one is for today's class. Okay, so we'll see like uh, basically we will see like that today's topic is like industry problems and million-dollar question. Okay, so this is the motivational things which we try to do, like why do we need to study the partial differential equation, etc. Okay, because there are so many problems, industry and other problems are there, so that we try to solve. So some of the industry problems and million-dollar question which I'm going to post here. Okay, so basically today's lecture we'll see like some of the industry problems like Navier-Stokes equation, Euler equation, and like how the tsunami waves or shallow water equation playing the role, air and water pollution, black holes problem, and some of the cancer treatment problem, Maxwell's equation and Schrodinger equation. So these are all the things we'll see. And so basically we have three PDEs, okay, big three PDEs, we say big three PDEs. So the big three PDEs are as follows, okay. So one is called heat equation, okay. One is called heat equation, another is called wave equation, another is called Laplace equation. So the heat equation is ut is equal to k square, or there I have written alpha square, okay, k square uxx, okay, heat equation. Utt is equal to c square uxx, which is the wave equation, and uxx plus uyy equal to 0 is a Laplace equation. These are the big three PDEs. Almost, if you see the second order PDE, so this is big three PDEs in the second order. Okay, so in this case, mostly if you go for the classifications in the second order PDE also, there are three types of classifications. One is called elliptic, another is called parabolic, another is called hyperbolic. So almost these three big PDEs are categorized in one of these form. Either it will be elliptic, or it will be parabolic, or it will be hyperbolic. So we'll see that in the classes once we are solving that. Okay. So these are three important PDEs in your course. Okay. Almost all the industry problems also more or less it will be covered by this. Okay. If you make some of the assumptions, automatically it will come to this kind of PDEs. Okay. These three PDEs. So this is the one of the major three big PDEs that arises. Let us see. Okay. For example, heat equation. So we'll see that derivation of these equations also in the next in the coming lectures. Okay. So heat equation has different names in different engineering and science problems. Okay, science stream. For example, in thermodynamics, it is called heat equation. Okay. So since that equation came from the thermodynamics, which was developed in the early century, as I have shown in the history of PDE, this is the derived from that. That's why that name was stick to that heat equation. Okay, the heat equation was stick to that. So this is one of the equations. But however, it is used in mechanical engineering. They are using it for diffusion equation. Okay, the diffusion, like you have some kind of oscillation. So those things are also here. Then you have what you have is in civil engineers there is something called consolidation equation for drilling. For example, you are just pouring some water. Okay, what do they do while pouring? They will just send some water. Okay, some forced water. They will send it to the ground, and then they will just eject some of the cements or some kind of materials out of the land. Or even if you go for the mining process where they take some kind of oils or some petrols, etc. So that what they used to use is this kind of consolidation equation. So they will drill it. They will just put the water in the high speed so that will hit the ground, and then it will just produce some kind of energy and other things, and then it will just send the materials from the ground. Okay, from the underground, it will just send it up. So that is used in the civil engineers. It is called Tersaki's theory. You just Google it. What is the Tersaki's theory? That is consolidation. Similarly, in electrical engineers they used to use it for the telegraph equation. Okay, that is another one where they use it for some kind of telegraph equation. And in financial mathematics, I think some of you are attending this statistical finance course. So in that you can see that this equation, Black-Scholes equation. So this is the kind of things which is playing a role between the stock market, etc. Okay, so that they are using the Black-Scholes equation. Once again, this is kind of a heat equation. But for mathematicians, it is simply a second order PDE. Okay, we don't worry about whether it is heat, the naming culture, whether it is heat equation or diffusion equation, consolidation, whatever you call it as, we simply call it a second order PDE. Okay, for mathematicians, this is simply second order PDE. because Henry Poincaré has already said that mathematics is nothing but giving the same name to different things. Okay. I think if you have attended some of my guest lectures or the seminars, you might have come across this equation, which is again the heat equation or bioheat equation, which was used for solving the cancer treatment application. Also, if you see your internal body heating, the same thing is covered here. Okay, the heat equation. So this is given by rho c dou t by dou t equal to k into delta t plus omega b rho b. So I have ordered some more extra term. Okay, so this is once again heat equation. So if we see the left hand side is having is nothing but ut. Okay, here if you see, I just mentioned dt here. Okay, dou t by dou t is nothing but ut, whatever I have here. Okay, ut is same as that one. Then k square ux is nothing but something similar to that. If it is a one dimensional, I mean, with respect to space, it is one dimensional. Okay, with respect to space, it has only one variable. In that case, it is uxx. If I go for a two-dimensional case or three-dimensional case, what I will put is I will just simply put it as delta u. So what is delta u? Delta u is nothing but uxx plus uyy plus uzz. Okay, for example, in case of three-dimensional case. So this is nothing but delta u. So that is the same thing. So here instead of u, I am just using T. Okay, since it is representing temperature, I am just representing T. So this is heat equation, but this is same thing. Okay, same kind of thing. Plus here what I have is, see here I have mentioned F1. Some extra functions also I can put it. Okay, some extra things also I can put it. So that's what I have given here. Okay, so TA minus T. So I have some extra that we call it as heat source term or heat sink term. Okay, so this is another application. Okay. Also, it is applied in medical imaging. Okay, it is one of the important inverse problem. Okay, in medical imaging, what they used to do is they apply this kind of image smoothing, where they take a picture and then they try to find like using the smoothing, they will try to identify like where is the liver, where is the tumor, where is the organs, etc. That they used to identify. So this is one of the medical imaging applications that we use, and also this is a TCIS, tactile carcinoma in situ. Okay, breast cancer. For breast cancer, once again they will use the same kind of things. So C into, once again the same thing. Instead of UT, there it is having sigma T. Okay, sigma T is equal to C square into sigma XX. Okay, plus some extra term is there. Minus lambda x into sigma is there. That is some extra term is there. So this is once again some kind of extension of it. Okay. Similarly, in atmospheric equation, okay, in atmospheric, for example, suppose you have, for example, you can take that corona case, corona spread also, okay. So like this is pollutant, like kind of pollutant. So you have some kind of pollution is appearing somewhere. Then once the air is flowing or something, what will happen is it is going to transport from one place to another place. Okay, you have something like you have some medium here. Okay, so the air is traveling from here to here. Okay, some pollutant is here. This pollutant is going to travel to some place distance over there. So this is going to travel over there, but that will be dispersing somewhere. Okay, so it is going to make some dispersion of the pollutant. So that is going to play once again in the same way. It is going to disperse. So this is again, this is called diffuser equation. So here what do they have is they have something like U CT plus UCX plus VCY WCY, where U represents the velocity in the x direction, V represents the velocity in the y direction, W represents the velocity in the z direction. Because the air will be flowing in all directions, right? It can flow in all three directions. X direction can flow, y direction can flow, and z direction can flow. So that means the dispersion is going to happen. So that dispersion of the pollutant, I'm just giving it as like it is going to travel. Okay, this is almost similar to the transport efficiency. So it is going to travel somewhere. So this is kind of transport and safety. This is nothing but on the right hand side there is a mistake. Okay, so there is a plus symbol missing. So kx into cxx plus ky into cyy plus kz into cz. Okay, plus is missing in between the cyy and cxx. Okay. So that's why you have made some highlights over there. So that is stress. Okay, the same thing is applicable in the chemical engineering also. Okay, this equation is not correct. The correct equation I will just write it. Okay, so for the first one, the correct equation is this one. So first one, the correct equation is Cp plus U into Cx plus V into Cy plus W into Cz equal to Kx into U C, where C is nothing but the concentration of the pollutant. Okay, some pollutant particle is there. For example, if you take the coronavirus, so that coronavirus, I can just say like that is nothing but the kind of pollutant or some virus spreading in the air. Okay, so that I can just say how it is going to spread once the air is going. And Ky Cyy plus Kz Czz plus some okay, some source terms. So this is nothing but the atmospheric diffusion equation. Similarly, if you see the chemical engineering also, in chemical engineering, what they use is you just mix some kind of mixer. Okay, so it takes two kind of mixer and then you do some concentration around the point. So in that case also the same kind of equations you can play. So this time will not be there. So in that case, what we will have is Ct is equal to Kx Cxx plus Ky Cyy plus Kz Czz. Okay, so this is something similar. Okay, then what we have is this is another equation which I was using in some of the NASA and ESA problems, which is called, you can just check with Dr. Turka Prasad Azokil or Divya and Surya, the research scholars, you can check with them. So they will be knowing this equation, which is called acoustic wave equation. So this acoustic wave equation is also playing a role in kind of ESA and NASA, the space things they are doing. So what they used to do is they just try to find, suppose some it is going in a high speed, okay, that rocket or something is going high speed. So that they use kind of this equation, okay, acoustic wave equation, to study like how the behavior of the acoustic once the rocket is moving, etc. Okay, so these kind of things are also, that is called acoustic wave equation. Okay, so here what we'll have is it will have some kind of channel will be there. Okay, so here I will have some kind of wave produced over here. So then it will have some kind of disturbance over here. Then we will see like how this kind of wave is going to disturb my whole system of rockets. Okay, so this is going to produce some kind of wave over here. This wave, how it is going to create some kind of problem. That is another thing. So you can see like what is that acoustic wave equation. So these are some examples. Then other important P is, so this we will see, okay, this equation will see convection or convection or transport equation. So this is one such equation, which is called ut plus cu x equal to 0. Okay, the same thing if you say Burger's equation, instead of c it is u. Okay, so where c is constant, the first two equation c is constant, whereas in the second one c is it is going to be u. Okay, so ct is ut plus ux equal to 0, which is nothing but the Burger's equation. Okay, so this is one of the important equation. If you see the traffic flow problem, this mostly it is covered by this one. Okay, so like once you are going in your city, there will be some traffic. Okay, so those traffic equation we can see is the same kind of equation. Again, like with some extra terms on the right hand side also, we can see that is also kind of equation. Then there is something called Eikonel equation. So this Eikonel equation is also kind of equation which you might have, which you can see like pedestrian flow. Okay, in pedestrian flow means like suppose you have a group of people living in a campus. Okay, and I have some exit is there. In that exit, I need to travel somehow. Okay, I need to reach that place somehow, and then I have to exit from it. Suppose some emergency is coming. For example, you are traveling in a plane, airplane, and suddenly some emergency came. So then you got to jump from the airplane, down, okay, either in the sea or somewhere. So in that case, what we will have is we will have a limited number of exit doors will be there. Or if you go to some cinema theaters, it will be having some limited number of exit doors will be there. So through that time, through those doors, we have to exit from them. Okay, so those kind of things also, like how they are moving, how they will be designed. So those kind of things you can just design this type of things. Okay, once again, this is kind of Burger's equation only, Sarkways. So here what will happen is some disturbance if it happens, what will happen is this is like is going to produce some kind of Sarkways, means some kind of discontinuity, mathematically we say some kind of discontinuity will occur. So those kind of discontinuity they call it as Sarkways. So this is one of the important equation which is coming into the picture of problems like space resetting. For example, if you have the Sarkways, it's one of the important problem in aerospace. For example, you just send a rocket to Mars or something, okay, Mars or space. Then they will be coming back. There will be some resettling will be there. So once they are resettled, what will happen is there will be some kind of disturbance will be there. So it may get some kind of disturbance which will be disturbing all the system of the entire space shuttle, and it will just collapse. So those kind of things they cover service. Then similarly, there is some biharmonic equation, and actually the last equation is not correct. That equation is I just made a typo. I just noticed in the morning, but I could not correct that. So that equation is also not correct. So wave equation is interaction. What is the wave equation actually? Wave equation is utt is equal to c square ux. So same should be that. There should not be any square. Okay. So utt equal to c square uxx. Okay. So this is the wave equation. Okay. No square over there. No ux square. Okay. C square uxx plus some u cube. So this is called wave equation with interaction. Okay. With some interaction will be happening there. So wave equation means it is going to give you some kind of, for example, wave equation where it will occur is you take a violin string, okay, or a guitar string, just make some disturbance in the string. Then what will happen? It is going to produce some sound, okay, A sound or B sound, whatever you call it as. So that sound it will produce. So that is covered by this wave equation. Similarly, you take any kind of string and you just make some disturbance over there, and then that is the basic idea behind that wave equation. So that with interaction, some interaction if you want to do that also. And this is another one, like this occurs. This is another important problem in physics. Okay, 1 minus ut square ux is almost similar to that equation, but with some complicated things. And this Monge ampere, which is one of the important problem in Riemann geometry or conformal geometry, where they will try to find some surface, etc. And this Klein coordinate problem, which is once again some kind of which is involved in the physics problem, okay, with the Planck's, etc. This is once again the same thing. Hamilton-Jacobi equation, okay, Hamilton-Jacobi, which is occurring in some kind of problems in the physics. Then Schrodinger equation. So this is one of the important PDE in the last century, because quantum mechanics, quantum physics or quantum mechanics is one of the hot topics in physics. Okay, so even like we have some center for that. Okay, Kamos Center, which is for center for which is mainly focusing on this quantum mechanics. Also, we try to get some technology innovation cup for our IT for the quantum mechanics, but we got another one. So that is one of the hot topic. Means they try to do some kind of quantum computing and quantum communications, etc. So these are all the things which is mostly the basic underlying idea behind that is this is quantum mechanics. Okay, the Schrodinger equation is one such equation which is covering many of the things. Okay, so here what we have is IUT is equal to minus h by, so that h is Planck's constant, and you have the equation delta u. So this is almost similar to, you can see that ut is equal to k square uxx. So in terms of k square, what I have is minus h by 2u. Okay, in the place of k square, I have minus h by 2u plus delta u. Okay, plus some f1 is here, so that f1 I just put into it here. I think that equal to 0 is not there. Okay, and then we have Euler-Bernoulli equation also. So UTD plus alpha power 4 U XXX. So this is one of the important equation which comes in the beam problem. Okay, Euler-Bernoulli. So beam problem which is appearing in mechanical engineering mostly. They will try to study like how the elasticity etc. is happening. So that is to use. Then the Korteweg de Vries equation. This is another equation. Okay, so these are some of the equations. Then Benjamin Marconi equation and Poisson Blasov-Poisson equation. These are some of the equations which you use. Okay, this is another important equation, Maxwell's equation, which is, for example, now you have currents, the electricity and the internet, magnetic field, etc. So those are all the things which was invented by Maxwell's magnetic theory, etc. And key related magnetic theory and the electrical one and current one using that using this equation, which is one of the breakthrough of the problem. Okay, breakthrough problem in the last century, which was invented by Maxwell. So this is equation which is these are the equation which is used in the physics as well as in the electrical engineer for governing the electrical current and the magnetic field. Okay, so these are. I think this I made a mistake. So the slashing dynamics. Okay, I just explained what is slashing dynamics, but the equation is not correct. So slashing dynamics. Once again, we can see like something like kind of equation which we come across in with Navier-Stokes equation. We'll see what is Navier-Stokes equation later. So this is slashing dynamics. What they do is like you take some bucket of water. Okay, you just take bucket of water and then you just move. What will happen? You can see that if you just move it, that bucket of water will be slashing. Okay, means it will be just if you are just moving. What will happen is that bucket water it will just oscillate. If it is full, then you may carry it carefully. Okay, but if it is half of the water and if you are just going like this, then what will happen? The water will be oscillating. That oscillation, what will happen? That due to that oscillation, you will miss some balance. Okay? Your balance will be missed. Okay, you need to concentrate more while walking. If you are having half bucket of water and then you are walking, you have to walk it carefully. Otherwise, you may just end up falling somewhere because it is going to oscillate heavily. Now, imagine the same problem in case of a rocket. Okay, a rocket is going at a high speed. Okay, and it has some kind of like a rocket. It has some many components are there. Okay, the rocket. So one component, let me say, like it has some fuel tank. Okay, fuel tank is there. So the fuel tank is once it is starting from the ISRO center or the place that they are launching, it will be full. Okay, there are different types of fuel engines are there. Suppose I have a liquid fuel. That liquid fuel, so it is full. Okay, then after some times, once it is reaching some above the ground, the amount of fuel will be decreasing. So it is going at high speed, and what will happen sometimes? This is going to make some kind of oscillations. Okay, so if it is making some oscillation, what will happen? It may disturb the entire rocket also. Okay, if you didn't cover that, if you didn't attach the bolts or the attach the correct fuel tank properly, what will happen? It will end up with shaking the entire rocket, and it can end up in falling down. Okay, so in that case, they have to study this slashing dynamics. Suppose some amount of fuel is left over, then what will happen? Whether that oscillation will disturb my entire rocket or not. So according to that, they have to fix their nuts and bolts, etc. So for that, some equations are governed. Like this is that is called slashing dynamics. Okay, so that is also covered by the Poisson. Okay, so this one is shallow water equation. This shallow water equation already I have shown some kind of videos to you in the last lecture. So the shallow water equation I'll just show you. So okay, this is not coming. Okay, no problem. So I have given the YouTube link, so I'll just add that YouTube link. Okay, that is I got sign in. It will take time. So that shallow water equation, what will happen is there. This is governed by. This is mostly governed by the tsunami waves. Okay, the tsunami waves in 10,000. So tsunami waves. What is the problem here is that, see, the height is the height of the wave is very high in this case. Okay, this is also kind of, you can see that almost this is also kind of wave etc. is going to play the role. If you just ignore some of the terms over there, like ut is there. On the right hand side, you have vxx. Okay, so if you see the equation number 10, you have ut, and then right hand side you have some uxx is also there. So that means almost like a this equation. Okay, so what we have is here, what you will have is you will have some kind of shallow water equation which is going to come in a very big height. Okay? It is going to come in a very big height. So the catch is covering that. This is the shallow water equation which is covering the tsunami waves. Okay, this is another important theorem. We will derive this theorem in few of the lecture. So here what we have is conservation of equation. So conservation means, like, if you take any computational fluid dynamics or fluid dynamics problem, mostly three principles will be there. One is called conservation of mass, another is called conservation of momentum, another is called conservation of energy. Okay, so you might cause here the conservation of energy in your school days means energy can neither be destroyed nor be created. Okay, one form of energy is converted to another. So the same kind of principles: conservation of mass, conservation of energy, conservation of momentum. Okay, so this is the basic three principles which will be covering most of the fluid dynamics. And those three fluid dynamics equations can be governed by this Lagrange transport theorem. Okay, so that's what we have. Okay, what's the time now? Okay, okay. I'll just quickly go through this. Okay, 2 minutes and then we'll stop. Okay. So this is once again the conservation principle only. The first equation is conservation of momentum. Okay, so this is kind of incompressible flow. Means it is preserving. Rho is nothing but density. So density, relation between, what is the relation between density and mass? Mass is nothing but density into volume. Okay, so rho is relating to that. So d rho by dt equal to 0 is preserving, it is conserving the mass. Okay, and du by dt equal to minus del p means it is governed by the Newton's second law. What is Newton's second law says? F equal to mv. So from that they is obtained. So this is nothing but conservation of momentum.
Sir, one doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, here capital du by dt is there.
Yeah, this is something different. Okay, this is called total derivative. This is called total derivative. Okay, this is not a partial derivative, it is total derivative.
Okay.
Or material derivatives. Okay, material derivative. Okay. Then second one from the conservation of principle, which is one of the most important problems in the fluid dynamics, which is called Navier-Stokes equation. Okay, so Navier-Stokes equation, which is saying like dou rho by dou t plus delta dot rho u. So this is kind of incompressible flow. If it is a compressible flow, what will happen is this dou rho by dou t. So compressible means, sorry, incompressible means dou rho by dou t means rho is going to be constant. Okay, incompressible means rho is going to be constant. If it is compressible flow, that means that rho is not constant. It is depending on the time. Depending on the time, it will be changing. Okay, so incompressible means it is going to be constant. Dou rho by dou t is constant. Okay, if it is compressible, it is not going to be constant. Means the mass is not, the density is not going to change just to time. It is incompressible. So this is one such equation, consideration of mass, okay, which we will derive. Okay, which we will derive in our PD course itself. Okay, and then we will see. So this is right now just say like what is the equation. So this is conservation of mass. First equation is conservation of mass. Second equation is conservation of momentum, which we can derive from Newton's second law. Okay, force equal to mass into acceleration. From that we can derive. And then energy equation, which is conservation of energy. Okay, so that is three equations. So this is the three such equations. Okay, weather prediction, we will use the same kind of thing. So momentum is there, continuity equation is there. The same kind of Navier-Stokes equations is there. Mostly the second equation alone they used to call it as the Navier-Stokes equations. Okay, mostly the in some authors they used to say all these three equations together Navier-Stokes, but mostly the momentum equation alone is called the Navier-Stokes equation. Okay, that is the okay. In weather prediction also we will use this Navier-Stokes equation and other things. So like the same kind of equation, momentum equation is there, continuity equation is there, and then you have some kind of water substance will be there, so that we will predict like whether we will get some rainfall or not, etc. And some hydrostatic, depending on the pressure, you will see like whether there will be some storm or some cyclone is going to form, etc. That. So that is once again from the weather prediction also. Then this is one more thing, helicopter rotor. You know, like drones are rotating, right? Drones like the rotor is rotating. So those are also covered by this partial differential equation also. Okay, so you have a helicopter, that the helicopter, the blades are rotating so that it is going to take off and it is going to climb up or it is going to climb down. So those kind of things also governed by this kind of rotor partial differential. Okay, so here omega is nothing but the rotor rotating, okay, the angular velocity. So omega is equal to del cross p, which we say. So that is going to cover me like how it is going to rotate and depending on the equation. So this also. And this is one equation in this is one such equation in differential geometry. In differential geometry, we want to find like what is the minimal surface. So this is one such equation. Okay, so it's already time. So we'll see. I will just show you the millennium problem. I mean, like $1 million questions in the next class, and then like we will see like how to solve the existence and uniqueness, etc. That we'll see it in the next class. So I'm just going little fast because these are all we will be repeating again and again. So this is just a motivation only. So I'm just going a little fast. But from next class onwards, I'll be very slow because you got to understand, you got to solve the problems from that in your assignments and as well as in your exams. Okay. So I'll just share the slides. I have some mistakes in this. I will correct it and then share the slides. And I will also put the video lectures, okay, in the YouTube.
Yes.
Okay. You have any questions? Do you understand what? Do you understand the importance of PDE at least? See, so many equations I got shown. Real life examples. Yeah, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It is looking so nice, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everything is connected with PDE.
Yeah, yeah. So many things you can connect to the PDE. Okay. 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 Any other questions? Okay. Anyhow, we didn't go to the topics too far. So tomorrow we'll jump into the. Of course, this is also topic, but it is not. We didn't go to the rigorous one. So from tomorrow onwards, we'll go to the rigorous topic and see. Okay. So we'll solve the problems and then see. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.